All right, more progress on the Potomac sewage crisis. Advisories to avoid touching the water in Prince George's and Charles counties, as well as parts of Alexandria, have been lifted.
But those warnings remain in Montgomery County and near the American Legion Bridge and the Chain Bridge in Virginia. The bacteria levels there are still too high. Matt Gregory sat in on a briefing with DC Water about the sewage spill less than 3 hours ago.
Yeah, investigators tell him they're closing in on what caused that break.
So we're at the point where DC Water is looking into the investigation to determine what caused that break, right? Was it a stress break? Was it a pressure break, a temperature break? We don't know, and the investigation continues there. But today, officials gave us some early indicators of a bigger disaster that was looming. Something that was used to protect the pipe or backfill the pipe may have caused this to go from what could have been a small sewage spill to an epic disaster. So in today's DC Water briefing, leadership gave the background on this maligned sewer pipe, the Potomac Interceptor. So it's built in the 1960s, and it was scheduled to be replaced this year, even before the break happened. So officials today showed pictures inside of the 72-inch pipe from CCTV cameras that was captured in 2024 in the area where the break occurred. Now, it showed wear and tear of the concrete, but not visible fault lines. But during the excavation to fix the pipe, workers discovered a series of rock boulders had fallen inside the pipe. So here's the theory they're working on. This is not set in stone yet, but is that these boulders were used as backfill after the pipe was initially installed. Normally, and especially today, this would be done with small rocks, we're told, or dirt as backfill, not rock boulders. But for some reason, it appears that workers in the 1960s used blasted boulders as the backfill. When the pipe failed, investigators believe the break allowed the boulders to fall in, blocking the sewage pipe completely, sending millions of gallons of sewage into the Potomac, which normally we're told would not happen in a standard break.
When the failure did occur, it did cause that rock dam inside of the pipe, and that is not what you usually see in any of these types of pipe failures that any of us have seen in our careers.
Normal sewer breaks, normal sewer failures, you have a partial blockage of the pipe, the vast majority of the flow still gets through, you may have some loss of soil, you don't have the equivalent of almost 100% blockage of the pipe.
So as a result of this discovery, DC Water says they're going through the entire length of pipe to discover any other areas that might have this boulder protection or boulder backfill, because if they do find it, they will have to replace it, and soon. As far as the investigation into what caused the break, why it broke, that's still being determined, and we're continuing to stay on top of it. But for now, alongside the Potomac, I'm Matt Gregory, WUSA 9.